In what ways have your environment influenced your beliefs and behavior?
Well, my environment has influenced my behavior in the sense that I'm more conscious of my kids at home and their upbringing, trying to emphasize to them the closeness of family and the importance of that. And as far as at home, my environment at home is very accepting of police culture. I live in a neighborhood where law enforcement is welcome, is very acceptable, whereas where I grew up as a kid, it was not as acceptable, and police were frowned upon, and it was never a positive thing when dealing with the police. But as I've matured and grown, obviously those things are what has changed for me.
Okay. And are you familiar with the informal rules of the streets?
Yes, I am very familiar with the informal rules of the street.
How and what way?
Well, generally I've dealt with it and seen it when dealing with crime scenes and having victims of certain type of crimes come in after the fact and make it known that they want to handle certain situations on their own, or they're not as willing to discuss some of the issues with the police or give us as forthcoming with information because they want to take care of it themselves by seeking revenge on their own.
Okay. And have any unspoken rules of your dominant culture made you want to follow it or rebel against it?
I don't have a desire to follow it or rebel against it.
Okay.
If I'm understanding your question correctly.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it never really solves anything. It just perpetuates itself, because then you will forever always want to seek revenge. I'm sure there was a time in LA when gangs were really out of control, and you had young men that were constantly dying funerals every week because of this vicious cycle. So I'm not for it at all.
Okay. And how do you feel about a term used in sociology called code switching, where black people are often explained as talking white? Like, how do you feel about, what's your